Evening everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ghosts and Giggles. I still want to say Haunted Tours, but we've kicked that name. We're now Ghosts and Giggles. So tonight we're going to be doing Gloucester Quays to a certain degree. It's going to be hard to do, especially something like the Spirit Box, because the buildings have been turned into shops and apartments and people live in them, so I don't want to wake people up. So we're going to see if I can do it, but quite with the sound quite low, so the phone's gonna have to go next to the Spirit Box. So I had some exciting news about the Folk Museum. As far as I know, we are going to be doing paranormal investigations, hopefully every month, depending on what comes out of the meeting next week. So I'm hoping they're going to let me in to film an episode. I haven't been in there, so it's going to be interesting, but it's quite a haunted place. It has a lot of bits in it from the history of Gloucester. And people messaging me, that's my iPad going off. So that'll be quite fun. So what I will do is I will film as I go around. I will film it so you will get to see, and then hopefully they'll let me in to do an investigation, which is quite good. So what I'm going to do is, back to tonight, we're going to go to Gloucester Quays. So we're going to walk along the river at this front. I'm going to see if I can find the weird bit that I couldn't get to last week, get to that, and then we'll carry on to the quays. There's different sections in the quays that I want to take you around. There's a couple of museums that are haunted. There's the Mariners Church, which is such a pretty building. And yeah, I will just see how the night pans out. Again, on my own, so, and you really want to be a female on your own in this day and age, really. So off we go. So in case anyone knows, this car park here is the meeting point for the Gloucester Tours. So if you do ever come on the Gloucester Tours, this car park is called Westgate Street Car Park. This is where we'll be meeting. It's usually where the coaches park as well. I have just walked down said steps and I have come across this city quay, commenced February 1887, RV Vassar Smith. Hang on, because this is a bit fucking dodgy. I really fancy falling into the river. Okay, let's see. RV Vassar Smith Esquire, Mayor, completed April 1888. John Ward Esquire, Mayor. That's a little bit of a jam. You go, just zooming out there, you can see the whole thing. So City Quay. I wonder how many people know this is here. No, my luck, my ass is going to fall in. So we have walked. So behind me here, that's the prison where we went a few weeks ago. Actually, the day before my birthday. That was awesome. Hopefully going back there sometime in the next 12 months would be nice. But we'll see. I've got other investigations planned, but I'd love to go back there when the activity is ramped up again and see what we can get. At the moment, that's my favourite place, aside from Greyfriars. So that's where I've walked. So that's the bit I walked down from, and then we go behind me. See the lovely, this is the quays behind me. Welcome to Gloucester Quays. So just a river show I can show you where I want to go. There's a swan. Where I want to go is further that way, so I'm thinking of going that side because I can't get much further on that side because of the cottage. So we're going to go back that way. So I think that bridge I just went over and said I wasn't going to go down. I think I'm going to have to go down. I can't get where I wanted to go last week, so it was the weir as well as the other side of the railway bridge. I can't get to from this side because there's all the buildings in the way, and I know what's after the bridge is behind one of these buildings and I can't get to it. But I'm pretty sure if I go back over that bridge I can't get to it anyway. So I think it's behind this one here. It's over there somewhere. Because, don't ask me how I can tell. Okay, so the bridge in the weir I can't actually get to because it's on a massive industrial estate. So, insert picture here from Google Earth. You can see roughly where the cottage is and where the railway bridge is, which I can't get to. So I'm going to go that way, back that way, into the quay. Welcome to Gloucester Quays. It's chucking it down, so I've put my rain jacket on, my raincoat on with my nice fluffy meow. So we are presently, and my phone's going to get wet, at the quays. So this is the quays. It's not all of it. We're presently at the canal, which was the harbour for Gloucester. And let me just think you guys can see. I'll stay out of the way of the nutters. So this is said to be where Gloucester's biggest ghost resides, and it's the ghost of a Spanish sailing ship. So all the years ago, in I'd say about the 1800s, which is the 19th century, this Spanish ship came in and they used to sell onions. Now off the sailors would go selling the onions to the locals, and my jeans are now sopping wet. So they go off to sell the onions, and after they sold the onions, they go to the bars, quench their thirst and their other appetites, like sexual appetites. And two of these lovely sailors got into a fight at one of the bars, where they met their untimely death. And the following day, when all the other sailors returned to the ship, they found them strung up from their heels on the boom, hanging. And it is said to appear on those dark, miserable days where the mist, not sure exactly, but we're just going to say just around here. Sorry, my mum's just messaged me. So that is the biggest one. There is another ghost story of a gentleman who had his own, like behind me, his own boat, ship, canal boat, like there's like the one behind me, which you can have day trips on. And it was a mysterious ship, and he went onto it. There was no one inside. There was a ship, and this gentleman went inside to look around. There was no one inside, but it had that musty old smell that you get. And then he came off it. Sorry, I just saw someone there, then realised it was someone walking over the bridge. And he came off the boat. I thought there was something very strange about it, very odd indeed, like it didn't quite belong, didn't match or marry up with the present day books. It's absolutely chucking it down. I'm going to stand under something before I get too wet. So he went back to the pub he was in and he mentioned it to his fellow drinkers. Turns out this boat existed quite a few years ago. Apparently it sank just off the coast, and there was a murder on there as well where someone was hung. So there's quite a few ghosts in Gloucester Quays. And then if we walk over here in piss it down with rains, right, there's a bit I can go to, it's undercover in a minute. Just take you over here. There is a place called Gloucester Waterways Museum, which is the history of the waterways because it played an important part in Gloucester's history. So let me just stop and then we're just gonna, no, we can't zoom out. So this is Gloucester Waterways Museum, and it is supposedly haunted. I don't know if I can get up the back. So we are planning one day to go in during the day. As you can see, there's quite a few floors. Learn about the history of our lovely city, and then try and catch a few ghosts, hopefully. I'm not quite sure what the stories are. I think it's just a lot of noises and banging and stuff moving and doors closing, but it'll be interesting. As you can see, they've done it up very well, Gloucester Quays. So over, hang on, Alexandra Webb's warehouse. So over that bridge over there and down there is Lanthony Priory, where we were years ago. Oh, and there is also, before I forget, there is tunnels in the canal. I'm assuming they're in the canal. This canal was only here from the 1800s. When the priory was here, there was no canal. Where the canal is where the priory lands, acreage from the priory was. And there's proof of smuggling. There's tunnels. Also, insert photo here of the smuggling, etc., etc. And I'm going to see if I can get around there. 10 quid, I bloody can't. I want to try though, but we'd have to do that in the day, I think. So we are just walking around the quays at the minute. It's some places are open, some places aren't. So I thought this is turning into the abandoned end of the quays. So I'm just walking around to see if I can get the feel for anything. There's probably going to be more activity when it's busier anyway, because it's more energy for spirits to get off. But I just thought I'd have a walk around and see. I see some places that are open only for takeaway and some places that are open full on for customers. So this is Pillar Warehouse. So you can see how it used to look. So that's dock workers. That is Pillar Ship from West. There's the cathedral there. See all the old-fashioned style ship, like the old tool ships that used to come in. So that is what that Spanish ship that has been seen looks like. So there's the Pillar warehouse. We are here. There's the canal. See, there's the Priory. So the Priory's land used to come over here. So all of that used to be a Priory before it was a canal, and that is where the underground tunnels were for the smugglers. Everyone had smugglers back then. A very empty Cine World. It's a bit of a weird one. So, hang on, interior walking. Route, shall we? So that's where we just were. See, I'm sorry, I'm limited on where I can go explore. Places are still closed and aren't fully open yet, especially at night. But hopefully, have to open up the folk next week, even if it is during the daytime. Hopefully we'll get some activity then. Would be nice to have activity for once. Then there's another place there, Barton Street Theatre is where I'd also like to take you guys. Oh, I know where this is. This is the next part of the quays to be refurbished. It's been empty for years. As you can see, I know where we are now. I'm going to but you can see it's pretty abandoned. So, someone is staying here tonight, so we're going to leave them alone because it's like 10 o'clock. GSD. Not sure what GSE. GS something. Anyway, we're going to go down here so you guys can have a good look. Sorry, I'm squishing. And then trainers are squishing. Welcome to the last abandoned building of Gloucester Quays. I'm not quite sure what a factory is for. That has access, but let's just go down there, shall we? You can see a lot. It's pretty cut off. It'll be nice when it's done. They've done all the buildings down here. Really lovely. And it's nice to see them used again. I'm going to take some photos. I want to find somewhere where I can sit down, so I'm going to go out of the way and walk part way back to the car, because that's the only place where it's quiet-ish and not near apartments or in a hotel. The pitfall of the Quays is it's a very much hub of the city, especially now that we're out of lockdown. So trying to find somewhere where you're not going to wake someone out, not going to be disturbed, is slim to none here. But I love the Quays, it's my favourite place, as well as Gloucester Quays obviously. And I'm going to take you through a different way. Take you through here, through the shopping centre area, just flip you around. Here is Fielding Engine House. This engine house contains a working stationary engine manufactured by Fielding and Platt Limited in 1930. The Fielding factory was approximately 200 metres from here, where the Gloucester Quays now stand, so over there. For more information, please check at Gloucester Waterways Museum reception. This engine is maintained and run by the museum restoration volunteers. These two wagons mark the route Gloucestershire's first railroad project opened in 1811, which connected the Quays to Cheltenham. In 1848, after much deliberation, the Midlands Railway decided to do a proper railway connecting Gloucester to the rest of the country. So there you go. And these are outside this little cottage, which is, I'm not even sure, they're Albion cottages they are. So there you go, and I think they use as offices today. Just where? I wonder, those cottages are as old, and I'm pretty sure they are offices now. I would have to have a garden, couldn't live in them without a garden. we are going to walk back to the car in a minute because it's absolutely chucking down and I can't do a lot in this. I can't even sit down, and so I will come back another day, preferably when it's dry, maybe next week. If it's dry next week, I'll come back next week and I'll do part 2, so I'll do this in part 2. Anyway, if you come to Gloucester Quays, there is like the one behind me. There is a lot of information boards where you can learn about the history as well as the museums. There's also, there's the Waterways, National Waterways Museum, no, Gloucester Waterways Museum, the lovely Mariners Church behind me, chapel even, sorry, I do apologise. Plenty of places to eat. There is also the Soldiers Museum as well, and there is a museum of Gloucester in the middle of the city as well. Always improvements doing to this lovely city. They're bringing it up market and they're doing a grand job of it. Let's go, shall we? Okay, I'm turning my phone off because it's getting absolutely drenched. It is chucking it down. So I am going to walk back to the car now. And hopefully by then my phone will have dried off. And it'll stop raining. I hope. See you in a minute. As you can hear, guys, the rain has gotten heavier. It is chucking it down. One of the pitfalls of being a paranormal investigator is when you are investigating outdoor areas, rain generally stops play. A couple of us have had this over the last few weeks. We've gone out and investigated woods area, graves, graveyards, church, cemeteries, ruins, and it's chucked it down and we can only do a certain amount. Because you have so much equipment, rain and electricity don't generally mix. You either end up blowing fuses or fire. But I got a lot of the history tonight. Hopefully you guys saw something in some of the videos. You never know. I'm planning to go back next week, so we've got the folk museum during the day, so I will record that for you guys. Hopefully we'll have some kind of activity. Would be nice. I haven't had anything yet, which is a bit of a... I'm planning to go back to Gloucester Prison at some point. I would also like to do the theatre on Button Lane in Gloucester. I've done that. I've been there quite a few times and I love that place. And I reckon it's probably going to be more haunted now because they've had seats donated from the most haunted theatre in London on Drury Lane. And I've had a couple of experiences there as well. So that's definitely my favourite place. Other places I'd like to do in the coming weeks, months, is finish the other side of the woods at Olney Island, finish Gloucester Quays, and there was somewhere else and I can't remember for the life of me where it was. I'd also like to, one day when I finally get around to it and the owner manager finally is free enough and not busy enough, Cafe Rene, especially I think it's the cavern underneath. They have like a cave not a cave, like an underground bit. There's tunnels and everything connecting all the buildings, etc. I'd like to get in there and do an investigation in there and include it on... You bitch! It's alright, my light just went out. It's because I've been sat in here for 10 minutes. It's fine, I can cut that bit out. Oh shit, I forgot where it was. Dick Whittington is also another one. That is quite close to my heart because I live on the estate of where Dick Whittington was born, so Portley Court Estate. And that road down where I am, that's haunted as well. So I'd like to do that one. There's also another one, St Michael's Tower. I will ask next week because the same charity that owns St Michael's Tower also owns the Folk Museum. So hopefully they'll let me in there as well. And I can include that on the tours like Lynn used to as well. She used to have a key and everything. The tours are running. I do ask that, so we're changing it a bit in line with the government's advice. So only one household. So however many people are in your household, okay, maybe if it's not 500 or 50, that would be too much. But if it's under, say, 10, that's perfectly fine. If you cannot do a Friday or a Saturday night, so Newent is on Friday, Gloucester is on Saturday, I can do any other night for you. I'm waiting to go back to one other job. I'm back at one job at the plant centre. I'm waiting to go back to Circotech. So at the minute I have a lot of evenings free and a lot of free time. So if you'd rather do it in the day, that's fine, I can do it in the day for you. Please go to our website, ghostsandgiggles.co.uk, where you can also book online. I'm not first, I can take cash. If you'd rather have cash and hand it over to me, that is completely fine. It's up to you entirely. You can book on the website, so ghostsandgiggles.co.uk. We're also on Facebook, Ghosts and Giggles Haunted Tours. It's probably going to get changed to Ghosts and Giggles, as it will be more inclusive, so include the paranormal investigations as well as the haunted tours. We're also on Twitter as Gloss Ghost Girl, so at the @ GLOS Ghost Girl. Instagram is Gloucester Ghost Girl. So the per person is £6 per person for the walks. So Gloucester has 2 routes. You can do for both routes it's £10, for just the one it's £6. If you'd like to do Newent and one of the Gloucester routes, it is also £10. The price I am working on at the minute for the Folk Museum is about £40–50, with about 80% of the proceeds going to the Folk Museum to help them with the upkeep. Now, if I get around to talking about St Michael's Tower, that would be the same price. I'm very keen to help them keep the upkeep of this place and to help them keep the history. There's a lot of history in Gloucester. So thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you next week. And send me a message. My phone number is on the website if you'd like to come on the tours. If you like to do the tour during the day, send us a message. And also please message me about future investigations and walks. I plan to include some of the walk on the investigations as well. So thanks for watching, and see you next week. Bye.